He showed me the T-Mobile store. I'm like, listen, I don't know.
After he passed, I spent like 3 hours in the store with my grandmother trying to figure out the phone situation.
Oh, with his phone.
Yeah.
In T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm good. No wonder why I get a television show. There's a soul that's actually coming through that I keep seeing with an oxygen tank. And they're showing me about needing oxygen here in this world to be able to survive. Who is that to you?
My grandfather.
He's here. I don't know if this was COPD or what it was, but he shows me him dragging this oxygen tank and he's like, let her know I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. His soul is here. He was right behind you, right on that couch when I'm connecting with him. And it's funny because he tells me one of the ways that he comes through to you is that you actually smell him. Do you ever smell like his smell or his aroma around you? Know that that's real. And he actually tells me that he comes through in signs all the time because he actually tells me that he loved Frank Sinatra here in this world. When I'm connected with him, he's playing Frank Sinatra on the other side. Do you understand that?
Yes.
He says to me, and Matt, anytime she hears those songs, I want her to think of me. He's so funny when I'm connecting with him. This man is like so animated when I'm speaking to him because he goes, Matt, you gotta let Olivia know that when I was alive here in this world, he says, I didn't know what it was like to not be sick at the end. I spent so many days being sick that I stopped being able to be myself. He was so upset because he actually tells me he couldn't drive anymore. They wouldn't let him drive, he tells me.
He was mad when we wouldn't let him drive.
He tells me, I see him saying like, what am I, a child? What am I, a child? I can't go down the street. What is this? And he tells me he had friends. He goes, Matt, I had another life, he says to me. I had friends. And he tells me that he had friends that they used to go like down the coffee shop with one another and all like get coffees and things. Do you understand that?
Yes.
He goes to me, Matt, let her know. He goes, that I'm not alone in heaven. My buddies are here. My buddies are here, he's telling me. And they're all there I see them all together, right? They're all together, like eating Dunkin' Donuts on the other side and sipping coffee. Like, that's how I see them.
Yes.
It's so funny because I see your grandfather, right? He would be with these group of guys and like, they'd literally be at the coffee shop with the newspaper, like sitting there, like for like just like 2 hours, like doing nothing, watching everybody, talking about everybody.
Yeah. Yep, that sounds about par.
He says to me, Matt, he goes, can you let her know that I watch over her every day? And I'm sorry for all she had to see with my passing. Because he tells me that this was the biggest part of your heart when your grandfather died. He says to me that you spent as much time with him as you possibly could because you knew he was dying and you knew that he wasn't going to make it that long.
Yes, I do.
So your grandfather tells me this. He goes, Matt, and what I love about this man is that he made his death so beautiful here in this world. He was never mad. He was never angry. He was always happy. He didn't even care that he was dying. Like everybody's worried about him and worried about his health. And I see him saying like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about me. No, I don't think I got to go to the doctor. No, I don't got to worry about that.
Yes.
He says to me, Matt, please let her know that when you found out that your grandfather wasn't going to make it, he tells me that you spent every single day with him. He says, and you made him feel so loved. So he wants you to know that there's nothing that you have to regret. There's nothing that you have to go back and say, oh my God, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. He goes, Matt, she told me every day how much she loved me. He goes, when she wasn't able to see me, we talked on the phone, and he tells me about him having like a little flip phone of some sort that he had here in this world that he loved. And I see him like with this old school flip phone, and I see him like calling you like all the time. Like he was always calling you 24/7. And I think that's so beautiful because he actually tells me that there's voicemails that your family still has of his.
Yep. I actually just listened to them a couple days ago.
He was with you. Do you know he actually tells me that at first, when he first died, something happened and the voicemails were lost, or they thought they lost the voicemails, he tells me. Whatever it may be, I see, it looks like do you have T-Mobile?
No.
Whatever it is, it looks like.
You.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm seeing, a T-Mobile store. It looks like T-Mobile when I'm connecting. Because, or was that on his phone? Did he have T-Mobile?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
What am I talking about? Because I don't know. He showed me the T-Mobile store. I'm like, listen, I don't know.
After he passed, I spent like 3 hours in the store with my grandmother trying to figure out the phone situation.
Oh, with his phone?
Yeah.
In T-Mobile?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm good. No wonder why I get a television show. So no, it's his way of acknowledging, right?
Oh my God.
From the other side, when you did that for your grandmother, he wants to thank you for that. And he also says to me, oh, I got it. Sorry. Yes, I understand. It's because you were trying to keep his phone. You wanted that phone.
Yep.
So no, it's his way of bringing that through and acknowledging that. And he says to me this, he says, Matt, let Olivia know that I got to see everything that I wanted to see here in this world. He says there was one thing that he really wanted. He really wanted to see you get married. And the thing is that he tells me this. He says, let her know that I will see her every single day on the other side. So did he tell you that here in this world?
He had Alzheimer's at the end, so we couldn't really talk like we used to. But when I did get engaged, we had a very special moment when I showed him my ring, even though it wasn't here cognitively. I knew he knew.
Oh, he did. And he says to me, Matt, that's what I was waiting for. Your grandfather held on. He was hoping to be at that wedding. He says, all I wanted was to see her get married. All I wanted to see her was to get married, he tells me. But you know what's so beautiful? Is that even though your grandfather wasn't physically there, he's telling me I was there. I was there, Matt, he keeps saying. And you know, sometimes heaven shows us things. So I'm seeing this thing and it's so rare. You know, sometimes heaven gives me a glimpse. And when your grandfather was passing and he was going to the other side, the spirits that were around him explained to him, listen, if you hang on, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be able to go to the wedding, but you're not going to be able to stay. You're not going to know what's going to happen. Someone's going to have to take care of you. No one's going to know this. No one's going to know that. You know, all these different things, right? But if you transition on, when you transition to the other side, you'll be able to be with your granddaughter when she walks down that aisle. You will be able to be there with her when she takes her first dance. You'll be able to be a part of it and be right there. And your grandfather tells me that when he heard that, that's all he needed to peacefully transition over. Wait a minute. He actually tells me, thank you for honoring him on your wedding day. He says to me, not only was I there, I saw the way that she honored me. So did you carry something of his with you?
I carried his baptismal rosary beads in my bouquet.
He just said to me, let her know that I was right there. I didn't miss a thing.
I felt him all day long.
Sometimes you love to make me say things that I don't want to say, right?
I love hearing everything.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I have to tell you, my policy is I have to tell you everything. I can't, because if not, I'm going against spirit, right? But he's also talking about a bun in the oven.
Oh, God.
So are you trying to get pregnant right now?
No.
You sure about
that? But if he wants me to, I do.
Well, your loved ones don't have it like that. I'm going to tell you right now, your grandfather already met your baby on the other side.
Oh, God.
Because before we're even born, our soul starts off in heaven. And he just showed me this little baby that's there and that's with him. It's actually 2 kids there that are there with him. So doesn't mean you're not going to have more, but right off the bat, your grandfather's telling me that he needs you to know that he met your children on the other side. So we actually have, believe it or not, you guys, we have an existence before we're born here in this world. So know that when you have those kids and you cry and you're like, oh my God, I wish my grandfather was here to see this. He's already a step ahead of you. He's already met those kids. So no, it's his way of letting you know, don't regret anything. He says, I'm still a part of your life. I'm still a part of your journey, and I'm with you here and now.
I have to tell you that about a month and a half ago, I had a dream that I was pregnant and he was actually in the dream.
That's not a dream. That's a visitation. That's what I'm seeing. Listen, you're going to know that before I tell you things, right? Your loved ones will show me. So when you had that dream and your grandfather was there with the babies, right? That's his way of showing you, hey, pay attention.
Oh my God.
Right? Oh my God, I love that. That's the best dream that you could ever have. It's your grandfather's way of validating that to you. And you're gonna know that the same things that they talk to you about, they'll talk to me about. It's your grandfather's way of saying, don't be worried. I will be there with your kids. I will see your kids. And he says, don't hold back life from me.
I live every day for him.
Well, I'm gonna leave you with that.